So, namaste, fist pump, and welcome to the video. And today's video is lumen versus continuous blood glucose monitor. And I don't have a blood glucose monitor, just as full disclosure, but I'm just going to tell you what the kind of devices are checking. So let's just quickly go over fat cell metabolism. So you got 3 stages of body fat metabolism in particular. So fat lives in the cell, and then it gets liberated from the cell and then floats around your bloodstream. And as it floats around your bloodstream, it can get restored as fat. But the third stage, so the first stage, it's in your fat cell and needs to get liberated. Second stage, it floats around your bloodstream. And the final stage is it goes into a cell to get utilized, or the energy extracted from this. So the energy becomes ATP. The waste product is your carbon, which then goes into the bloodstream and goes into your lungs, and you breathe that out, and that is your carbon breathing out. So lumen detects that final stage. When you breathe into that, it's going beep beep beep. You burn some fat, so fat has been liberated, and that's assuming that that's body fat. Fat that's floating around your bloodstream can also be fat you've just eaten. So if you've just eaten fat, you can get you can burn that fat off, which is also a great thing. So getting low numbers on lumen is great because it means you're burning fat, whether it's the fat you've just eaten or the fat from your body, which is a good thing. A continuous glucose blood monitor will monitor glucose in the bloodstream. So if I get a low number in this and says I'm burning fat, and I eat a banana, so I eat this banana, the blood glucose monitor should indicate, hey, you've just eaten some glucose and your blood sugar levels have risen. But then I blow into this and it says I'm burning fat. That's because that glucose is still in my blood system, and it doesn't necessarily mean that's gone into the cell to burn. If this says, hey, you're burning 4, then I know, hey, information from I know myself that I ate a banana. I know that glucose, or the carbohydrates, is floating around my system. The blood glucose monitor will then say, hey, you've got glucose in your bloodstream, and then lumen will say, hey, that glucose is getting burned out as carbohydrates. Awesome. But what if this doesn't say that I'm burning? What if my blood glucose monitor spikes, hey, you got loads of blood sugar in you, but lumen says, oh, that means that glucose is going somewhere, probably getting stored as glycogen, or it's probably the ratio of fat to carbohydrates. I'm still burning more body fat, and that banana wasn't enough to really knock me out of a kind of a good fat burning mode, and it's just raised my breathing out. The banana's digesting slowly. So say I have something else like some sort of jelly sweets or high carbohydrate drink, yep, my blood sugar should spike on the continuous blood glucose monitor. If my glycogen stores are empty, it should go into my glycogen stores first, so it won't really knock me out of a fat burning mode. And if you check my other video, fat burning mode is not ketosis. It's not the same thing, or not necessarily the same thing. There's a scale to be had. So if your blood glucose monitor and your lumen are having contradictory results, that's because your body, it's that final stage. Is it going into the cell to be utilized as fuel, or is it going into a muscle cell to be utilized as fuel later on, either stored as glycogen or going into your liver to be glycogen for your brain, etc.? Or are you burning that fuel in a slow rate? So it doesn't really matter if your blood glucose spikes. If it comes down over time, lumen can kind of tell you where it's going. Are you utilizing it as fuel, or are you storing it? And that depends on what kind of workouts you've done, where you are in the day, etc., etc., etc. So hopefully that clears up your continuous blood glucose monitor to your lumen results. Lumen is the final end stage of kind of energy metabolism. It's after the cell has extracted that energy to form ATP and the waste product of carbon. What did your cell use? Did it use carbohydrates, or did it use fat, or what percentage? Because we're normally using a mixture of both. So hopefully that clears that up, and thanks for watching.